From the most insulting dribble to a match that ended with 23 red cards, these are the most disrespectful moments in football history. And first, the time an old man disrespected Cristiano Ronaldo. The build-up to this Champions League clash between Atletico Madrid and Juventus was personal because of Cristiano Ronaldo, a guy who'd been tormenting Atleti for years. So when Atleti took a 2-0 lead in the first leg, their coach completely lost the plot and celebrated like this.
Through the crowd, now do happen. Foot to the floor, Griezmann in it, got a flick. And it's turned in by Boateng. Slammed in, and Atletico now do have their lead.
Oh my God. When asked why, he said his boys had balls. Sure, but little did he know that Ronaldo was watching this and taking notes. 26 minutes into the second leg, Ronaldo headed one in.
In from Bernardeschi. Ronaldo! Doing what Ronaldo does.
In the second half, he scored again.
Lifted into Ronaldo. What a save. And the referee's given it.
And in the 85th minute, he scored a penalty to complete his hat-trick and a comeback.
And put Juve in front. Is it ever in doubt? The man of the moment, yet again, with another special ice-cold moment.
So when the final whistle blew, you already knew what was coming. Bro hit him with his own celebration. You could feel the satisfaction radiating off Ronaldo. That's the energy of someone who waited 2 weeks for this exact moment. But you know what stings even more than that? Getting ragdolled in front of an entire stadium. During a match between Cruzeiro and Atletico Mineiro, Everson caught the ball clean, but wasn't happy about the tackle that came with it. So naturally, he decided to try out his jiu-jitsu skills on his opponent.
É pra ele, pro 10 do Cruzeiro, entra na área, bateu, a bola desvia. Everson pegou! Segura o Everson! E depois se estranha com o Christian, bate boca, sobe em
This
cima.
immediately triggered an all-out brawl. They were flying kicks, punches, and players sprinting and kicking from every direction.
Cássio também fica irritado. O Liam podia terminar assim, hein? Não podia terminar assim.
Even the WWE Royal Rumble looked organized compared to this. The referee had to give out 23 red cards. Even the mailman doesn't share these man cards on Christmas Day. But while a brawl is wild, what happened next almost tore African football apart. It all started when Senegal were denied what looked like a perfectly good goal because of this foul on Hakimi.
Sek with a header, and it was eventually deflected in by, I think, Ismaila Sarr.
Already fuming, the Senegalese couldn't believe it when the ref signaled a VAR check for a Morocco penalty.
Swung over by Hakimi. Another header out.
Chaos erupted everywhere. The benches were going at it. Fans scrapping in the stands. You could feel that whatever came next was gonna blow the lid off this thing. As the ref walked back onto the pitch, the tension was suffocating. Even through a screen, you could feel the weight of that moment. And when he pointed to the penalty spot, that's when it all fell apart.
Penalty. With only seconds to go.
Senegal's coach told his players to leave the pitch. He believed the whole thing was a ploy to hand Morocco the win.
Wow, the manager's saying his players are going off the pitch. No. Senegal fans are pitch invading.
For 20 minutes, it was pure chaos. Riot police in the stands, Moroccans waiting on the pitch, the Senegalese already in the dressing room, and the whole of Africa watching a dark moment in its football history. But while the Senegalese had every right to protest, leaving the field was disrespectful to everyone involved, from the fans, the Moroccan players, the officials, and the game itself. But at least nobody got physically hurt here. Can't say the same for our next one. After going down with a season-ending injury, Gabriel Martinelli decided the best course of action was to smack Connor Bradley with the ball and then push him off the pitch.
Martinelli chases Bradley. Bradley's hurt himself in clearing that away. Also frustrated that they're prevented from taking the quick throw in. Bradley, who was sort of on the line.
You know, as you do when a player is faking an injury. Except this was real.
Someone who has had injuries, got those hands over his face, and I'm actually fuming with Martinelli.
Bro, the man was in pain. Read the room. At least Martinelli apologized after, which is more than I can say for our next guy, who decided to run his mouth on social media. After Manchester United beat Arsenal thanks to a Mateus Cunha wonder goal, Amar Diallo hopped on Twitter to call out Arsenal as a team that lives and dies by corner kicks. This sent the entire Arsenal fan base into meltdown. But here's the beautiful, beautiful part. Since that tweet, Ahmad hasn't scored or assisted a single goal. The football gods really have a sense of humor. But even being a keypad warrior wasn't good enough for our top 30, because there's no way a reckless tweet compares to what Messi did to Boateng at number 20. And wait till you see what Haaland did to the entire Arsenal team at number 15. But before we get there, some players were turning the penalty spot into their personal stage. Look, scoring penalties shouldn't be a big deal. You can ask CR7, the man does it in his sleep. But for whatever reason, these lot turned it into a whole Broadway performance. Imagine pulling this off at Stamford Bridge. The brawl you saw earlier would have looked like a bunch of kids playing. Speaking of which, you won't believe what Pepe did at number 29. During the Pep versus Mourinho era, matches between Real Madrid and Barcelona were basically legalized assault. Both sets of players played like they wanted to end each other's careers. During one of those games, Messi was fouled by a Real Madrid player. After going down, Pepe came close to him, and suddenly, Messi started screaming in pain. At first, it didn't seem serious, but when the replay dropped, nah, that was nasty. And after all that, Pepe still had the nerve to pretend he was innocent. Bro, we all saw the replay, but if you think that's bad, wait till you see what Neymar started. During a match between Athletic Bilbao and Barcelona, the Catalans were cruising 3-1 with just 4 minutes left. So when Neymar tried rainbow flicking the ball over his opponent, you'd think they'd just let it go. Nah, it turned into a full-on brawl.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
I don't get it. If a player is skillful enough to do that to you, just take the L and move on. But getting embarrassed on the pitch is one thing. Getting humiliated at Old Trafford? That hits different. During a Premier League match between Manchester United and Liverpool, the Red Devils were already 3-0 down with seconds till halftime. Already embarrassing. So Ronaldo, frustrated out of his mind, tried winning the ball from Curtis Jones, only for this to happen.
Ronaldo went for a kick. He had a kick. Initially a foul, That in itself perhaps worthy of yellow, but the second action from Cristiano Ronaldo is initially a foul. That in itself perhaps worthy of yellow, but the second action from Cristiano Ronaldo is open to interpretation.
Yikes! That's the kind of moment that tells you someone is washed. But while Ronaldo was kicking his frustrations away, one goalkeeper was about to get absolutely violated. Scottish attacker Chris Maguire stepped up to take a penalty for Oxford against Ben Alnwick. Now pay attention, because as Maguire was placing the ball, Alnwick pointed to his right-hand side, basically telling him exactly where to put it. But Maguire smashed it to the keeper's left, and his celebration? Let's just say it completely violated the man. That's what you get for trying to play mind games with the wrong guy. But if you think that was disrespectful, wait till you see what Messi did to James Milner. During a match between Man City and Barcelona, an energetic Milner rushed in to try and win the ball from Messi, and
Still plenty to go. Plenty to enjoy and marvel at, in truth. During his bad time last year, suggestions
that has to be the nastiest nutmeg in football history. Even Pep Guardiola had to look away. When your own manager is cringing for you, it's over. But while Milner got done dirty, Chiellini made sure nobody was getting past him. During the Euro 2020 final between England and Italy, the Three Lions rushed into an early lead.
Trippier who'll cross, and it's Luke Shaw!
The Italians equalized in the 67th minute.
Away from stone space, it's flicked across. This is a problem, and it is in. Italy on level, and it is Bonucci.
With normal time approaching its end, Saka thought he'd beaten Chiellini, only for this to happen.
Saka. I don't think you can do that.
I shouldn't be laughing, but he pulled him back like a parent grabbing a toddler running toward the road. But while Chiellini's tackle was hilarious, there was nothing funny about what happened next.
This player has bad manners, and this is the reason why he has bad manners. Alex Iwobi and Amaringo.
During a match between Arsenal and Hen, Iwobi and Traore got into an argument, but as soon as Traore opened his mouth, this happened.
Stadium. Stadium.
Damn, in front of thousands of people. That's the kind of moment that replays in your head at 3 a.m. for the rest of your life.
No. Wait.
But speaking of things that haunt you, imagine getting betrayed by your own teammate. After the opposition almost scored, the goalkeeper was fuming at his teammates' defending. Things escalated, lots of shoving, but then the goalkeeper collapsed like a deck of cards. And his own teammate got a red card for it. What? Doing that against your own teammate? This guy's got a room temperature IQ. But even this looks rational compared to what Douglas Costa did. During a match between Juventus and Sassuolo, Costa elbowed Francesco after a strong tackle. They squared up, the ref stepped in, and it seemed like cooler heads would prevail. But Costa said F cool heads and spat directly in his opponent's mouth. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen on a football match. The elbowing was bad, but the spitting? That's a different level of nasty. But even this madness couldn't crack our top 20, because still to come is Di Maria ending Puyol's career, and Wamangituka scoring the most disrespectful goal in history. Before we get to those, however, we have to see the time Messi turned a Champions League defender into a meme. In a match between Bayern Munich and Barcelona, the Bavarians hoped to pull off an upset to reach the 2015 Champions League final. Unfortunately for them, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar were at their peak. So with 13 minutes left, Messi decided he'd had enough and did this.
Deserved that goal scorer. And here he is again. Here he is again. That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
The most humiliating dribble I've ever seen. Boateng went down like his ankles filed for divorce and got full custody. And you know what's really sad? Despite everything he achieved in his career, this is the moment fans remember. One move and your entire legacy gets rewritten. But few things in football get more intense than neighbors fighting for bragging rights. The rivalry between the US and Mexico is hardly surprising. Games between them are always intense. But on this day, there was extra tension. With the USA leading in the CONCACAF Nations League semifinal, Mexico's Montes had enough and took his frustrations out on Balogun. This immediately sparked a massive brawl between both sets of players.
And this is bubbled over. Montes shown red. A straight red card. And this has gotten totally out of hand. McKennie's shirt ripped off in the aftermath as he kisses the crest.
It was so chaotic that the referee didn't even know who to book. But while that brawl was ugly, what some Chelsea players did to themselves is a different kind of disrespect entirely. During a match between Chelsea and Everton, Cole Palmer had already bagged a first-half hat-trick. So when Chelsea got a penalty in the second half, you'd think he'd have someone else have a turn, right? But when Nicholas Jackson picked the ball up to take it, this happened.
Got caught, got heavily caught first of all. He's desperate to take this, argue me Jackson.
The APP, the offside has been checked. And had a look at it as to who will take this. Nicholas Jackson.
You're 4-0 up and you're arguing between yourselves. What is going on here?
Madueke storms off in a huff. Nicholas Jackson likewise.
Ice cold. The man already had 3 goals and still snatched the ball like sharing isn't a concept he's familiar with. That's the energy of someone who orders food for the table and eats it all himself. But as shameful as this was, at least Palmer was ballin'. Can't say the same about our next guy. During a match between Man City and Bolton, striker Carlos Tevez threw a fit about being substituted.
Oh, and he's had a word with Mancini there. Has Tevez. And there doesn't seem to be too much love.
So as punishment, the coach benched him for the next game against Bayern. With City losing 2-0, Aguero got injured and Tevez was asked to warm up. But the Argentine flat out refused to come on. Your team is losing, they need you, and you just say no? The look on Mancini's face said it all. When asked why Tevez didn't play, the coach said this.
So what happened? Why didn't you bring...
He refused to go in.
He refused to come onto the pitch?
He refused to come on the pitch. Yeah.
Man, you have to feel for Mancini there. He didn't deserve that. But while Mancini got disrespected by his own player, one random defender had the nerve to disrespect 3 of the greatest footballers on the planet. In the 2022 World Cup, Saudi Arabia defender Al-Boulayi decided to taunt Tottenham's Son. Being the nice guy he is, Son just carried on. He did the same thing to Lionel Messi, who just stood there wondering who on earth this man was.
Al-Boulayi slapped Lionel Messi on the back and told him, "You will not win."
But then he tried the same thing with Cristiano Ronaldo. And this happened. Look, I don't support violence, but when you taunt Son and he ignores you, taunt Messi and he doesn't care, and then you try the same thing with Ronaldo, what did you think was gonna happen? Some people really gotta learn the hard way. Speaking of which, wait till you see how Haaland handled his grudge match. In the 2024 Premier League clash between Man City and Arsenal, Haaland scored early, only for Arsenal to respond with 2.
Into the penalty area. Calafiori shoots. Oh, what a goal! When it comes in, it's a really good one. It's in! Gabriel's got his head to it, and Arsenal have taken the lead.
But seconds before halftime, a controversial red card flipped the game.
It's a foul by Trafford. He's been sent off.
After halftime, Arsenal sat deep, frustrating every City attack. But with the last kick of the game, Man City equalized. While trying to mock Gabriel, Haaland threw the ball at the back of his head.
It's opened up here. Shot block must be. It's in. John Stones goes away and...
As soon as the restart was blown, he charged straight into Partey. Then, after the final whistle, he got into it with the Arsenal manager too. Bro was on a one-man mission to annoy every Arsenal player on the pitch. But karma is undefeated because when the teams met again, Arsenal's Miles Lewis-Skelly scored to make it 3-1 and recreated Haaland's celebration right in his face. You could feel the joy of every Arsenal fan on the planet in that moment. You love to see it. But the guy at number 14 took pettiness to a level I didn't think was possible. During a match between Werder Bremen and Stuttgart, a lapse in concentration gifted Wamangituka a completely free run at goal. But instead of placing the ball in the net like a normal human being, he decided to do this.
Only 3 minutes of time added on, and now Wamangituka to seal the deal for Stuttgart. It's an absolute gift. And Wamangituka's been booked.
I think this is all about sportsmanship.
For a second, I thought he was gonna bend down and head it in. That would have been legendary, but nah, bro just stood there, ball at his feet, staring at the keeper while the entire opposition watched helplessly. This man treated a Bundesliga match like he was playing against his little cousin on FIFA. And speaking of treating people like they don't exist, what Di Maria did to Puyol belongs in a museum. During a match between Real Madrid and Barcelona, Di Maria turned Puyol inside and out like a fresh apple pie. All that was left was to take a bite. A sorry sight for anyone who remembers how tough Puyol was at his peak. He never recovered and subsequently retired. But if you think getting dribbled past is bad, wait till you see this. During a match between Hamburg and Darmstadt, Aaron powered his way past the first defender. But as he was about to beat the second one, this happened.
Bei Milan sieht man nicht so oft. Königsdörfer, der ist der schnellste gewesen. Durchgang und auf die rote Karte gegen Eto'o. Der sich da, so hat der Schiedsrichter...
I mean, there are better ways to ask for someone's shorts. A polite DM after the game would have been fine. But nah, bro went full caveman. That's just disrespectful. But while losing your shorts is embarrassing, losing the love of fans you gave everything to, that cuts way deeper. On his journey to the top, Ollie Watkins spent 3 years at Brentford, scored goals, made memories with the fans. Or so we thought. In 2020, he moved to Aston Villa. So when he visited Brentford with his new team, he probably expected a warm welcome. However, the fans kept insulting and booing him. So when he scored against Brentford, he decided to point at the fans and mock them right back.
As they go for the win, little flick onto the far post, and it's in!
his former club. And Villa have the lead. And the goal-mouth celebrations didn't help calm things down.
I don't see why this turned into a fight. The fans should be able to take what they dish out. But now that we've made it to our top 10, it's time to take things to a whole new level, like the time Vardy silenced the entire Tottenham stadium, and what Mourinho said about his own player at number 7. But before we get to those, we have to see a celebration so premature it became one of the greatest karma moments ever caught on camera. Having lost the first leg 2-0, Sweden needed a miracle to advance in the second leg of their Euro 2015 qualifier. As the game began, Sweden rushed into a 3-0 lead, and suddenly that miracle looked real. With 3 minutes left, Francis Kurzawa scored an away goal, killing the comeback dead. But he didn't stop there. He ran to celebrate in front of the Swedish players with an aggressive salute. Brave. Very, very brave. But the scriptwriters weren't done with this story. Sweden scored a 4th, and the boys just had to return the favor. You can't even feel bad for him. That's what happens when you celebrate before the final whistle. Football karma has zero mercy. But while Kurzawa got humbled on the international stage, Vardy humbled an entire fan base with one gesture. In their opening match of the 2024-2025 season, Leicester came under massive pressure from Spurs. The pressure paid off as Spurs took the lead via Pedro Porro.
Son, James Maddison collects with options in the middle, and there's the flick, and there's the goal.
At halftime, Leicester brought on their talisman, Vardy, to change things. His presence caused problems as he kept running in behind. Eventually, he scored to draw Leicester level. While celebrating, the Spurs fans started booing him. Oh, big mistake. Huge mistake.
Away from Reed. Eto'o. Vardy! Well, one chance, one goal for the legend of Leicester. They've been under the cop.
In response, Vardy pointed to the Premier League badge. No words, just a finger on the badge. I've got one of these. How many you lot got? Exactly. But while Vardy kept it classy, our next moment is the complete opposite. During a match between Galatasaray and Giresunspor, Marau came out of absolutely nowhere to attack his own Galatasaray teammate. He headbutted him, and for a second, it looked like they were in the UFC. The referee gave him a deserved red card, and the Turkish FA handed him an 8-match ban. Bro chose violence against his own teammate for no reason. But while Marcau's attack was random, Mourinho's disrespect was calculated. In 2014, then Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho told the world he thought his own player, Samuel Eto'o, was lying about being 32.
De mieux en mieux, je dirais, quand même. Il est mieux qu'au début, en tout cas. Non?
32 ans, peut-être 35, je ne sais pas.
Imagine your own boss going on live television and telling the world you're lying about your age. Then, as fate would have it, Eto'o scored Chelsea's opener against Tottenham. And his celebration? Chef's kiss. The old man's celebration. Iconic. Mourinho tried to embarrass him, and Eto'o turned it into one of the greatest clapbacks ever. But while Eto'o used humor, Messi's revenge was pure ice. After scoring an equalizer for the Netherlands, Weghorst got a bit too enthusiastic trying to win the ball from Messi.
Should be some finish to the match.
Have set up here a potential grandstand finish with their
Messi wasn't happy and showed the ref his bruises.
their first shot on target in the game.
So after Argentina won on penalties, Weghorst waited in the dressing room to apologize. But the little man wasn't having it. He snubbed Weghorst's handshake, and when he noticed the striker was still waiting for him, he expressed his anger.
Quedaste un poco caliente por el final.
¿Qué mira, bobo? ¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo. Anda para allá.
Tranquilo, Leo.
My Spanish isn't fluent, but I'm sure he's not talking about cameras. And with that, we've made it to our top 5. Take a seat and get your popcorn ready because things are about to get explosive. We've got a 100-yard sprint of pure rage. And at number 3, something so disrespectful you won't believe it came out of a footballer's mouth. But first, we have to see a young footballer disrespecting tired old man. Heading into the 2012 Merseyside Derby, Everton coach David Moyes accused Luis Suarez of diving in their previous game to get Jack Rodwell sent off. Unhappy about this accusation, Suarez entered the match ready to make a point. Just 14 minutes in, he opened the scoring for Liverpool. And what he did next? Instantly iconic.
And he's pulled it across. Sterling went down, but it's fallen to Suarez anyway. And Luis Suarez strikes as Liverpool hit first in the Merseyside derby. Well, he must have taken a deflection. I don't think it's...
Bro scored and then swan dived right in front of the Everton manager. You could see it in his eyes. That wasn't just a celebration. That was a man who'd been waiting for this moment since the second Moyes opened his mouth. Beautiful. After the game, Moyes was asked about the celebration, and he said,
"What did you make of the Luis Suarez celebration, Chris?"
I thought it was great. I actually quite like that.
Fair play to him for seeing the funny side of things. But while Suarez's revenge was funny, Adebayor's revenge was fueled by years of pain. In 2009, Emmanuel Adebayor left Arsenal to sign for Man City in controversial circumstances. The fans felt he betrayed the club for money, so when he and his City teammates visited the Arsenal stadium, the fans kept hurling insults at the striker. But this wasn't just about football. When Adebayor played for Arsenal, he remembered the racist chants hurled at him by those same fans. That kind of pain doesn't fade. So when he rose highest to score a towering header, he just had to give them a taste of their own medicine.
Good advantage played again by Mark Clattenburg. Sean Wright Phillips, Adebayor! Well, that is the moment that he has dreamt about. And so too of Manchester City. An Emmanuel Adebayor goal against Arsenal. And he sets off to celebrate like never before.
That 100-yard sprint to celebrate in front of the Arsenal fans is iconic. You could feel every ounce of frustration, pain, and anger leave his body on that run. Years of abuse, and it all came pouring out in one knee slide. However, he was handed a 2-match ban and a £25,000 fine, worth every single penny in my books.
I think it's quite disgraceful. I mean, running over to the away fans.
You got your goal, you continued your 100% scoring record. Did you lose your head a bit afterwards?
I could have not do what I have done, but it's like the emotional take over me. The frustration is out of me. I'm very sorry for doing what I have done. I have done a big mistake today, and I think tomorrow this thing will never happen anymore.
But while Adebayor's disrespect was physical, what Podolski said cuts even deeper.
And you? Shut up. Now you are in the same place like me. Shut up!
During a Polish league match, Lukas Podolski and Eric Exposito got into a heated argument. But what the German said to him, just listen.
Hey, but you don't look that he kicked me. You don't look. You don't look he kicked me. You don't look. So wait, and shut up. Shut up. Shut up and wait. Shut up. And you, Shut up. Now you are in the same place like me. Shut up. Come on. Bye.
Be humble. Be humble. Be humble.
Telling a man you'll buy his family? That's not trash talk, that's disrespect. You're telling someone their entire bloodline has a price tag. But while words can hurt, nothing tops slapping your opponent right before a penalty kick. It happened in a World Cup qualifier between Portugal and Ireland. The Irish got a shock lead just before halftime. Then went into a deep block to protect it like their lives depended on it. Unfortunately, they conceded a penalty. But just as Ronaldo was about to take the spot kick, this happened.
Check kicks it away, look.
What? There was contact with his shoulder from Ronaldo, as you saw.
I can't lie, that slap was hilarious. And the crazy part? It actually worked. Ronaldo missed the penalty.
Ronaldo, it's saved by Bazunu! What a
But you already know how this ends. With minutes left, Ronaldo did what he always does. Came up clutch for his country.
How difficult was it for you, considering that you missed that early penalty?
It's part of the game. It's part of the business. Sometimes you score, sometimes you mistake. It's part of the business. But I still believe to the end of the game. So I'm so glad to score and to winning the game.
And now it's time for our #1 most disrespectful moment in football history. Matches between Inter and AC Milan are like bitter sibling rivalries. They share the same stadium, but these two never see eye to eye. During the 2021 derby, Lukaku wasn't happy about a tackle from a Milan player, so when he went to confront him, all hell broke loose.
Che si arrabbia nei confronti dell'avversario, in particolare di Romagnoli, faccia a faccia, arriva che sia a spingere Lukaku, si accendono gli animi del derby.
Damn. Look, in football, you can get away with a lot. Insults, trash talk, even the occasional shove. But when you bring a man's mother into it, nah, that's not banter anymore. That's personal. And you could see it in Lukaku's eyes. That wasn't anger, that was rage. Pure, unfiltered rage. If those teammates hadn't held him back, we would have witnessed something way worse than a red card. But as shocking as these moments were, they're nothing compared to Benzema missing 2 penalties in one match, a keeper doing yoga routines, and Neymar inventing a penalty technique that FIFA had to ban permanently. Click the next video to watch the most humiliating penalties in history.